Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl Rachel Real coming to you with another episode of You Ain't Crazy. You Ain't Crazy is a podcast where I give support and validation to individuals who have found themselves in a narcissistic relationship. You think you're in one, you don't know what's going on, and you need that validation, that confirmation to know that you ain't crazy. Guys, welcome, welcome, welcome to my channel. I'm going to start trying to do more over here on YouTube. I have a video here and there, but I'm trying to get better, do better with dropping videos. Usually I'm doing my walk and talks over on Spotify with my podcast. And this is a live video. There's a lot trending with the Scott sisters, and I definitely wanted to talk to speak, give my commentary on that topic. It's crazy. I sit on another podcast or called Bringing On Candid Convos on YouTube. So check that out with two other hosts. And this is my channel for You Ain't Crazy, my live channel. Um, Again, just to speak to this situation that's going on. I speak to several different situations, but this right here, today's topic is talking about Latocha Scott and Tamika Scott, the sisters. Everybody and their grandmother has been seeing everything that's been going on TV, on different talk shows and things like that. And I just wanted to speak to this a little bit today, just do this quick video just to kind of shed some light on some things and give my opinion on it, as well as encourage anybody who's going through something like that to give you some clarity from what I see, because there's so many different perspectives that everybody has, and you can have your own takeaway, from the situation, but it's not anything uncommon. I'm sure you, myself, and everybody else, you've seen a situation, if not experienced it yourselves, with a scapegoat. Thank God I didn't have that situation in my family, but I know people who did, where one sibling was treated differently than the other. You had the golden child and you had the scapegoat when both children had the same parents and things like that. So it's just an unfortunate situation. So, with my take on it, I feel like this is a narcissistic situation, which is why I wanted to talk about it on my You Ain't Crazy podcast. I in my channel here, where again I'm going to share some of the latest conversation or chatter that has gone on about this situation. Where you have Tamika Scott, Latasha Scott, two sisters who are a part of the escape group back in the 90s. They were young women, young ladies when they first started, pretty much girls, when they first started. You had Candy, you had Tiny, you had Latasha and Tamika, four, two sisters, and the rest of them friends. Candy being the youngest at the time, I believe. Um, then Tiny, probably Tamika, then Latasha. Latasha was the oldest. And long and short, fast forwarding up to now, they do a reality show, and Latasha's still carrying on, with this attitude and all of the things that you heard about her. You're seeing it portrayed out on TV. Nobody's making this up. So again, when a narcissist does not, and all of this is my opinion, so when I show this video, it's fair use. It's just a share commentary for me. I want to encourage somebody, inspire somebody, give you confirmation to let you know, if you're dealing with something like this, don't allow the actions from the narcissist throw you off, have you second guessing yourself, because this is what they're supposed to do. They're going to come back and try to make it look as if, hey, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. And a narcissist just won't stop, because the a normal person would just go away and sit down somewhere. Once somebody showed some receipts, I ain't saying nothing. Not to mention if I stole some money from you or something like that, because that's what's going on. If you don't know what's going on with the story, I'm sure you can look on any YouTube channel. So many people out there, so many content creators have covered this story. And it's one of those things where I was like, okay, let me go on and talk about this and give my quick commentary on what I'm seeing. Pretty much everybody believes Tamika, and I do as well. I see, again, it's confirmed that a narcissist just won't stop. If you look at Latasha and her husband, with this interview, you can clearly see that I'm going to show you from the Ricky Smiley show. You can clearly see that she's just doing this interview, not because, well, this isn't the one where she's crying. I'm sorry. This is the interview where she's going to kind of like talk again when she should have just kept quiet. After her sister showed the receipts, Tamika showed the receipts to show that there was money stolen from her by her sister, and her mom knew about it allegedly, as well as her brother-in-law. He knew about it. He was in on it. So they're trying to act as if that never happened. She's lying, blah, blah, blah. Again, this video is about how far narcissists will actually go. They don't care. And just because they come out and say, hey, no, I didn't do that, whatever, all you got to do is look at the pattern. Look at the pattern. Let this be another lesson learned where you got two narcissists who are basically showing their true colors, trying to defend a situation. But you can look at it and see it makes no sense. Tamika is not lying. And unfortunately, you do have a situation where a sister did steal. You can't look at it and be like, oh, if that's a sister, why would she steal from her? Why would she make up anything? Tamika has to be lying because look at what Latocha is doing. This girl is literally saying, oh, I didn't know anything about this. That's not true. Like, it just shows you how far a narcissist will really go. And I can't go that much. I'm not going to go that much into it because, again, it speaks for itself. It's just, I'm just going to show this clip and show the content that I'm going to show is because it shows how far a narcissist will go. They don't care. At the end of the day, the empath or you, whoever, who's ever the I hate to say victim, but the thriver on the other side, or victim, whoever that person is, please understand, don't look for validation from the narcissist. You're not going to get it. They don't care. They're just waiting for someone to believe them. If they got to go down kicking and screaming and crying, oh, that's not true. Oh, I just want us to get back together again. We're family. Like, they will go to the extreme, especially when they know that mask is slipping. And being that they are in, the limelight, their lives are being portrayed on national TV, so it's like, oh, I got to fix this. I got to fix this. So when you look at the husband in this video, you can tell he's lying. It's just really, really, to me, my takeaway, I should say, from this whole thing is knowledge up, understand what this personality is, understand exactly what the narcissist will do. They don't care, just because somebody cries and defend something does not mean that they're not lying. Please understand that. Anybody who doesn't understand a narcissist, they will lie, even if they don't care who it hurts or anything like that. It's their stories are always conflicting. All you got to do, just shut up and let it play out. So I'm gonna play this part with the story from Ricky Smiley. Shout out to Ricky Smiley. This is Latocha, and watch her husband in this video. Let's see. Wait a minute. Fair use. And these are my thoughts, my opinions, and I'm sharing this content again to raise awareness about narcissistic personality. And I'm not here to diagnose anyone. I just want you to call a thing a thing. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. When you have someone who's shown receipts showing that signatures were forced, you stole the money, and you're still going to come back on national TV and say that you didn't, that's a problem. And you guys, you figure it out. You take from it what you will, but I want to share this with my viewers because, again, and people who listen to me on Spotify, when you come across this video, look at this in action. This is crazy. Watch this. Wait a minute. And shout out to Ricky Smiley.
So now, Latocha, this year, you know who this is, so I ain't got to introduce myself to you. But Latocha, now we've been following the show SWV and Escape and what have you and stuff, and the madness has been going back and forth with you and Tamika with the $30,000 alleged that you're supposed to have taken from her and your husband Rocky. So my thing is, did y'all take the money? And I know you said
look at her husband.
That, get your sister back.
Now, if you were accused and you're a couple,
money, especially with you and Rocky.
She's engaging.
Did y'all take the money?
He's looking at some monitors that has nothing to do with the conversation.
Oh, you know, if it takes $30,000 to bring us back, then I would. That's what I said. But no, it's a very delicate situation, and no, we didn't steal anything from her. No, we did not.
Why is she saying that? Why is she saying that?
Because there was a video where she actually had the accountant on, and the lady showing the receipts.
There was an accountant on.
That was Lil Tamika mama.
Oh, okay, no, she's
the white lady.
Yeah, that's Lil Tamika mama.
That's yeah, no, she's not.
That's Tiny Mama.
That all the checks went to you and your.
Look at her facial expression, like she has no clue. It's sad.
So one thing that Tamika's mama said was that she alleged that you and Rocky changed the address to your apartment in New York versus her house in Hampton. Did that happen?
First of all, my sister didn't live in New York, and no.
Now she's lying on her sister, saying her sister didn't live in New York.
Well, she said she didn't know who Edwin or Edward.
They got stuff popping on her phone.
She found out that was your husband.
Okay, well, everybody knows it's not true.
Everybody don't know.
What's not true.
Edward Bivens, come on now.
Oh, I don't know his name.
Okay.
I know his name.
Well, she does.
Oh. Well, let me just interject and say what I've been saying the whole time. Even when Candy, Tasha, and Tiny came on Dish Nation, I've been around y'all since I was kids, and what I do know to be true is no matter what you did or said when we was little, your sister would definitely take your side, whether you was right or wrong.
And vice versa.
And I guess that's how sisters do. You know what I'm saying?
Just say yes, she did, not vice versa.
Like 2 against 2, and it made it, because to me, you always seem like the person everybody had to listen to. I guess because you was the oldest, but Candy always seemed to be the one that was hurt and slighted because they had to take your side and follow what you said.
You said Candy was hurt and slighted?
Wait a minute, guys. So, again, I'm just showing clips of this. You can watch it on your own. Wait a minute. I don't know why that other thing is there. Don't know. But, let's see. Oh yeah, that I'm like, who's that man in the video? That's him watching the monitors that's on this video. So I'm gonna fast forward this. Wait a minute.
Yeah, slighted because everybody took your side because you kind of was the leader of the group,
right? But in what instance can you say that about?
Why is she acting like she doesn't know anything about what's going on here? Let's see if we can get to him.
If you go to YouTube, the last thing she posted something yesterday.
That was a very.
Okay, look at him.
So the answer to the question, you did
he
not.
I did not cash a check, and that I'm gonna leave it right there.
Look at the narcissist. Then you turn it. Shout out to the Ricky Smiley show. Wait a minute. So I don't want to keep playing this over and over because it's been on social media, on YouTube, just consistently. My thing is, again, with this quick video, is the simple fact that, again, a narcissist will go to the extreme. They don't care. They don't care who they hurt or anything like that. They don't even care how it makes them look. If they're looking crazy or stupid, hopefully they'll go and sit down somewhere and just shut up and make amends with their family. But the likelihood of that happening with a narcissist is very slim. I really hope that Tamika can see through this and will understand that you ain't crazy. Stick to what you know, even if your sister is crying and things like that. Pray for her. As you said, prayerfully she will repent. And we're not here to judge. She has to answer to God for anything that she's done, just like we all do. But I would not feel like, oh, just because she's crying and she's doing different things like that, that you go right in. If she and her husband are not getting help for real, for their mental status as with that narcissistic personality, Girl, let your love on your children, love on your husband first and foremost, and your children and your daddy, and just go to people who treat you the way that you should be treated, because it's just unfortunate that narcissists will drain you dry. They will gaslight you. They will blindside you, have you thinking that your behind is crazy, having you questioning your reality. And the fact that all of this long time, your sister and your brother-in-law has been saying that, and your mother included, that they knew nothing about this and all of that kind of stuff. It's like, when you know something is out, it's like, admit it and go on. And when a person cannot admit to fault, we have to say you have that personality, because you're shifting blame, you're gaslighting, you're manipulating, you're acting as if you don't know anything, you're lying, the stories are inconsistent. Tamika, girl, go on over there and stick to the people who love you and show you love sincerely. Unfortunately, I'm not talking about your family or anything like that, but they don't know how to show love from what we're seeing. It's just not like that. And people like that got to get help. And when they choose not to get help, she can't be of any help to you or anybody else. So you might have to just love them from afar. Love them from afar, pray for them, protect your peace, set those boundaries, and keep it moving, my sister. Like, please. I'm going to watch the next episode. I think it comes on tomorrow. And I know a lot of that is recorded and edited and things like that. But we're not only looking at what's on TV, we're also looking at stuff that's happening in real life. And I'm sorry, I'm not here to bash anyone. My prayer is that the family will come together. But realistically, you got to be honest. You got a family situation where there's no honesty on both sides. It's not reciprocated. And you just got to move forward like that. And people like that, you can hi, bye, how are you today? It doesn't mean that you can't talk to your family members ever again and things like that. But once you see where a person really is and where they're coming from, you can't have those kind of conversations. We can't work together. We can't sing together. We can't do any of that together. Can we be sisters? Yes. But it's literally going to be hi, bye. That's pretty much it. Like, oh, the sky is blue. Yes, that's really nice that the sky is blue. Like, we're not going to have any in-depth conversations, but you can be cordial if it's reciprocated. You set those boundaries, and as long as they're respected, fine. But that brother-in-law, I wouldn't say nothing to him. And if your sister is in a situation, or your sister is at a point where she feels like you accept my husband and me too, then I would not be talking to my sister, period. If you want to feel like, okay, just like your sister was saying, Latocha was saying, I think on Ricky Smiley, whatever show it was, where she was like, I just want my sister, forget everything that's going on. I want my sister. Family is everything. Girl, stop playing. There are some families that are narcissistic, period. You got the scapegoat, you got the golden child. And a lot of the times people are always expecting the scapegoat to always, who's probably the empath, to always give in, to always break the ice, to always extend the olive branch. And sometimes, no. Set those boundaries. You've already crossed them. So we're not going backwards. Moving forward, I have boundaries. When you cross them, that's it. How can I ever trust again somebody who stole videotape, somebody who gave access to their husband to some sex tapes that I had, somebody who literally wanted to threaten me. Now, if it wasn't a crime, or if they didn't get called out, you could have did something that bad to hurt me, but I'm supposed to turn around in a couple of days and trust you again. No, I'm not trusting you ever again, because all you do, everything that comes out of your mouth is a lie. Lies, lies, lies. So why would I even trust you? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It was just so much that was played out from Latocha crying and talking about, I want my sister, I want my family, but you changed your phone number. So if you changed your phone, that's all manipulation. That's BS. You have to admit to yourself, Latocha, you changed your phone number. That's why your sister didn't call you, couldn't reach you when she even wanted to. That's why your father couldn't reach you when he wanted to. And you're talking about how bad it makes your mother feel. What about your father? What about how bad it made your father feel with all of the stuff that you're doing, even against him? So you can't just and you're crying. I believe the tears are really from you thought you were going to release that gospel album and nobody's going to support it. So I believe that's where your hurt really is. Those tears, which are crocodile tears, are not for your sister. I really believe that those tears are because you're sad because that album of yours that you wanted to release is a flop. It's going to be a flop. You cannot have that much going on in a negative light and sing the gospel. You can sing the gospel in your home, but it looks like hypocrisy when you have unfinished, unresolved business going on with your sister and your dad. Don't exclude him, because if he hasn't done anything to you, which I haven't heard anything that he has by you or your sister, how can you exclude and not respect your father? Why? Because you're not even talking about him. You're just talking about your mother. So we're looking at you again sideways. Like, where does your father come into play? Why aren't you talking about your dad? You know? So again, God is not a God of confusion. The God I serve, he is not a God of confusion. He's a God of decency and order. And when it's not in decency and order, sis, ain't nothing happening. You should have just left that alone. God said, if you got something against your brother or your sister, you need to fix that first, because how can you say you love me when you hate the ones you're seeing? How can you say you love me, one who you never seen before, but you hate your brother or your sister? It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't. And you know it doesn't. So if your mother hasn't told you, I'm not even looking for your man to tell you, like, it's just still a mess. Fix it. Fix your life first. Even if you retract your album, or like, you shouldn't have released that, because that's like you releasing something dirty, literally, like you've released something dirty. But again, when you have a narcissistic personality, and I'm not here to diagnose anybody, a narcissistic personality is not a diagnosis, it's a personality type. And you and your husband definitely showing that you have that personality type, a narcissistic personality type, one who shows up like a sheep and a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's how y'all showing up. Your husband couldn't even sit beside you respectfully at an interview, instead of turning around in a chair like he got nervous energy, watching TV monitors, knowing full well he is not interested in anything that's playing on that TV, period. But he's doing it. So it's just bad across the board. And again, this is my take on it, on, my platform, where I talk about narcissistic abuse and raising awareness about narcissistic personality types on my podcast, which is on Spotify and wherever you listen to your podcast at. Yeah, and I do occasionally videos on YouTube, here and there. And when I hear something that really is a trigger to me, or something that I feel my listeners can see, and see a real life situation where you got narcissism in action. And if you don't think that you're one, Latocha and your husband, look it up. But 9 times out of 10, you don't care, because it's who you are. And narcs don't like to be wrong. They don't like accountability. So more than likely, 9 times out of 10, you're never going to talk about or take ownership. Every time your sister says anything about you or something you've done, you're just going to say, me too, or you too, or you did it too, or we both did. That's not how you resolve an issue. A situation. That's not how you make up. If you really love your sister, which I don't believe, you know how to love, based on what I'm seeing with your mother. When you really know how to love, and I'm not saying you hate your sister, but some people don't know how to love. And when you're empty inside and it's all about you, the only person you care about is you. That's it. Your reputation, how others are looking at you. You're more concerned about that than what you are about your sister, unfortunately. It's crazy. And back to your husband, open relationship, closed relationship, it's confusion. So you got to own that. When you have an open relationship and all of these people are coming and saying, I've been with your man, because obviously your man is out here lying in these streets and not telling other people that that y'all have an open relationship. It makes no sense. It's all deceit. He's deceiving you. And apparently you're drinking from the Kool-Aid, or you're just like him, because you're giving him all of these praises. So maybe you got Stockholm syndrome. Maybe you're an egoist, like inclusive to the narcissist. Because if you've been with him as long as you have, 9 times out of 10, the only way that you can sit here and defend him is if you're like him, period. You've picked up those traits, or you were already like that, which is why y'all can rock together. Birds of a feather flock together. And your sister Tamika has been battling all of these years trying to fit in. Thank God she does have her father, y'all father, So I'm going to leave it at that, because it's just been crazy. But I had that stuff on my chest because, again, y'all fake. Y'all got to stop, man. It's really crazy. Stop lying. Stop lying. You're lying. It shows, even if you're saying, oh, we had an open marriage. Really? Your husband is not respecting you. I don't know if you know that. Y'all need to have a conversation, because he's making you look, it's sickening the way he's making you look. Sickening, period. It's sickening and a little triggering, because I wouldn't take no nonsense like that. What? You're there with your husband, whose praises you're always singing, who you're always looking for his endorsement and his co-signing on whatever decisions you have to make. When will it stop that you see you're not getting anywhere, not because of Candy Bears, but because of your husband and you? It's nobody else. We can't blame other people for things that don't go right with us. That's narcissism. Blaming somebody else for things that you're causing. Shifting blame. No accountability. It's a narcissistic personality type. That's what you guys have. You're narcissist. So hopefully you'll understand, because it feels like the world is against you, because you thought that people were going to side with you, and it's called a narcissistic injury. Narcissists don't like to be wrong. Y'all are used to wearing a mask, and when it slips, the only people who usually sees it are the people who are close to them. Now, the world is seeing your mask slip right before our eyes, and you guys are having a narcissistic injury and looking crazy out here in these streets, period. So anybody who's dealing with a situation where your parent has made you feel like the scapegoat, keep your head up high, set boundaries, know you ain't crazy, have self-love for yourself, and you'll wake up just like Tamika did. You're going to wake up and you'll learn. It doesn't mean that you have malice and hate in your heart. You never wish them any ill. When you've healed, you don't wish them any ill. It is what it is. If anything, pray for them. Pray for them and keep moving. Don't let their actions be your, the dictator of your happiness or anything like that. You step away and understand they are who they are, and you can't change them. But one thing you can change is yourself, by setting those boundaries, not allowing them into your space, and you keep it moving. You ain't got to run. You ain't got to hide. Protect your peace at all costs, just like Tamika is doing. So that's my commentary on that, guys. Peace and blessings to you. I will talk to you in the next episode. Check out my podcast on Spotify called You Ain't Crazy. A Narcissist Has Two Faces. They have multiple faces, but that mask will slip. I do a lot of walk and talks on it's an app called Anchor, but I'm on Spotify. Lots of commentary over there. I'm going to try to start doing more videos over here. Also check out Bringing On Candid Convos. That's another podcast that I sit on. We have great conversations and give out commentary on trending topics, guys. We are here to uplift each other, motivate each other, inspire each other, validate one another, confirming that we ain't crazy, confirming that, you know, a lot of the times you might second guess yourself. Am I right or am I wrong? Listen up, just listen. I don't know about you, but I love hearing this information because it puts things in perspective to let you know that it's really real out here. And you really got to be on your A game. You got to raise your discernment. You got to raise your emotional intelligence. You got to make sure you practice self-love every single day, 24/7. Practice self-love, because if you don't love yourself, ain't nobody going to love you like you. Or you're going to allow people to mistreat you. But when you have self-love like you should, you won't do it. It's going to feel weird. Like you're going to be like, you go on about it ain't even up for discussion, period. You go on about your business because I don't like the way you're making me feel. I'm out. We ain't going back and forth and all of that. Like with what they did to her with this situation, you know, oh, I'm going to pull out the sex tape. Oh, I'm going to do this. Shut them down. Do what you want. I'm not going to argue with you, nor am I going to be your slave, nor am I going to be your victim, nor am I going to be held hostage about anything that you're trying to do against me. Free yourself, you know, period. Never trust them. You can never trust a narcissist. You can never trust someone who's mistreated you on a continuous basis. Don't trust them. Don't think that they're going to change. They're not going to change. You know, so if they come back and they're apologize or apologetic, no problem. Thank you. It ain't going to bring us back to where we were. That ain't happening. It's over. It's a wrap. However, it doesn't mean that I don't like you or I hate you. You know, I personally, I don't deal with people who cross me like that. Like, I know how to love you from afar. I see you, I speak, I pray for you, and I keep it moving. And I open myself up to receive love from those who know how to reciprocate how I treat them. That's it. So, guys, have an amazing weekend. Happy April Fool's Day. It's Aries season. Woo-hoo! All right, guys. Bye. See you next time. Your girl Rachel Real is out until the next time.
Baby, you amaze me. Girl, you know you're crazy. Come over, girl, I got you. Don't be afraid. Please don't be afraid. You and I, man.